here to tell you how I came out. So I was 19 and I was just leaving high school, going to university, and I made friends with these women from the literary community in Toronto, and because I'm a writer. And so I had written some poetry that got published because one of my friends was the editor of Women of Color Press, so publishing house, and I was immersed in this wonderful community of women who all happened to be some variation of gay and lesbian, straight, bisexual, whatever. I mean, they were all very all very positive, all very clear and comfortable with their sexualities, and these were the women that I had been introduced to and that I was just loving being around. So this is very important because this comes back later on in the story. Anyway, so I went to university and I hadn't made any friends there, and not right away anyway, until I went to a women's center where I met other women who were, again, different sexualities, different ages. Some were seniors, some were, freshmen like myself, but they all seemed very, very comfortable and were all very accepting of me. But I had been living with my own pride. I kept my sexuality private from my family, because at that time I was just kind of going through what people go through when they deal with their sexuality, right? So I was like, am I bisexual? Am I gay? Am I straight? Well, I'm not straight, so I must be bisexual, because at the time I had a boyfriend, but I really want to be with women. So am I gay? And I was going through that whole thing, that whole like turmoil about, what are you? Anyway, so at school, at university, there was this school newspaper, and they were doing a whole spread on Pride, and they were looking for content. They were looking for writers to contribute to that issue. And I was like, this is right up my alley, because remember, I'm basking in this positivity of women who know who they are and are very comfortable with who they are. I'm now becoming very comfortable with who I am, especially after I told my boyfriend that I was bisexual, and that was the end of that relationship. I thought, okay, well, I'm free now. I can explore women, and I can explore my connection with women. So I'm now in this very comfortable position with myself, where I am exploring my sexuality in a way that is very positive, woman positive. So I am now thinking, this is great. I'm gonna write something for the paper, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna write something for this paper. It's gonna be great. So I do, and in the paper, I'm talking about the beauty of women. In my piece, I'm talking about the beauty of women, and I'm talking about women from all walks of the diaspora. So, the blue-black sister to the cream-white sister to the, everybody in between. And I'm talking about skin tones, and I'm talking about sizes of women, and I'm talking about real women, real-sized women. I'm talking about all of this great stuff. And in my excitement, while I'm writing the piece, I refer to myself as I'll say a kitty cat sucking sister. you can fill in the blanks. So I don't say kitty cat, I say something else. But, so that's what I call myself. And in it, it sounds, when I'm reading it back, it sounds really good. And I was like, yes, this is the piece that I'm going to put in the newspaper. So I bring the piece to school. I hand it in. The editor reads it. She's like, wow, this is really powerful. I'm like, yes, it's really powerful. And she's like, this is really good. I'm like, yes, it's really good. I'm really pleased with it. She was like, I'm putting this in the paper. I was like, you better put this in the paper because it is fantastic. And so she says, okay, I'll put it in the paper. So she puts it in the paper. Everything's going great. I'm feeling great. I go and I tell my friends, the women who I'm around, I tell them that I did this thing, I wrote this paper, I'm letting them read copies of it. They're like, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, it's so liberating. Don't you feel liberated? I'm like, yes, I feel liberated. Yes, I do. And I'm like, and I'm basking in it. So a week goes by and the paper comes out. And I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from the editors and from people at school. Everything's great. So one day I come home from school and my stepmom is standing there at the door. And I come in and I'm like, hi. She says, hi. She says, Maxine, what school do you go to? And I told her. She said, she said, did you write something in a paper? I said, huh? She said, yeah. Did you write something in the paper? I said, no. She said, She said, I have this paper with your name on it. I said, what paper is that? So she gave me the paper, and it was the paper with my piece in the paper. I was like, oh, where did you get this? She said, I got it from your father. I said, what? She said, I got it from your father. She said, somebody came today with the paper and gave it to him, and he read it. I said, he read it? She said, yes, he read it. I said, uh-oh. She said, and I read it. I said, you read it? She said, yeah. I said, uh-oh. So then the phone rang, and I picked it up, and it was one of my old friends from high school. And she said, you write something in the paper for the university I was going to? I said, yeah. She said, well, everybody at school saw it. I said, everybody? She said, everybody. It's all around the school. I said, uh-oh. And I hung up from her, and the phone rang again, and it was my brother this time. And my brother said, Maxine, what are you writing? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, one of Mom's friends brought her this newspaper, and it's got your name in it. And I was like, got my name in it? He was like, yeah. And she read it. I said, she read it? He said, yeah. I said, oh. He said, yeah. He said, this is bull. You know what he said. This is bull. Why are you writing stuff like this? I was like, I did. And then I hung up from him, and then it rang again, and it was the editor from the newspaper. And the editor said, Maxine, you have nothing to be ashamed about, because apparently my brother had called one of his friends who knew him. And anyway, long story short, everybody in my life that meant anything to me, everybody in my life that was my family, got a copy of this paper, got a copy of the piece where I call myself a kitty cat sucking sister. I call myself that. And I don't know how I did it, really. I mean, I know how I did it. But in one fell swoop, I told everybody that I ever knew that I was gay. I told everybody. Now, I also decided back then that since everybody knew, I might as well just consciously date women. Period. I was still going back and forth on being bisexual, and I said, well, I'm just going to choose to date women exclusively from now on. But that's another story. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, press the like button, hit that notification button, and comment below.